This person does not exist. Like, this is a pure magical girl now.
Thunderbirds are go. And I'm going to keep saying that.
Is that going to be your startup from now on?
Maybe, because I fucking can't not think of Thunderbirds when I count down. Hello there. I am Ash Mannix, and I'm with my extremely patient co-host, Pixel.
He doesn't say those words lightly.
No, I don't. We have been talking for about 5 hours. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time. Before we even started recording, I was ranting about life and about being a lonely boy forever. And Kuxo was just listening to me like a really nice person who was too afraid to tell me to shut up and just start recording. So here we are. Back
Until I told you to shut up and start recording.
Like it did take you about an hour or two of patience wearing thin before you said that. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
In fairness, I'm used to listening to people, so yeah.
True. True. I'm going to take advantage of that. But today, I've already taken advantage of that. What am I talking about? Today we're playing Chaos Child once again. In our last episode, I can't remember what happened. Main protagonist was back in his... we were back to our main protagonist. He was back in his camper van. And it was just the aftermath of him coming back from the police station after he was interviewed. After witnessing a crime scene where a guy had his head squeezed off.
Did he or did he not fantasize about his childhood friend coming to visit him, feeling vulnerable, and then sleeping together on the futon mattress, whatever they've got?
All he wanted was a hug. Hey man, there is a woman in Elden Ring that will give you hugs. This is all this guy wanted. Honestly,
yes, the deathbed companion.
Man, every time I see that, right? There's something wrong with me. I say, I want that. I just want someone that will give me a real hug of me, like a.
That's how she lures you in.
I don't care, man. I am willing to go to be used and have my energy sucked out of me or whatever the fuck for those hugs. They are worth the cost.
I fear the permanent debuff. I've heard there's a permanent debuff coming, and I'm worried about that because I do not want to be debuffed. I'm like a madly high level, and yet the game is still hard. I still die when I'm like 10 or 12 levels above the recommended level for like finishing the game.
I don't know, man. I think it's because you have not, but you've edged towards melee, right? Towards strength.
Yeah.
And that really puts you at a disadvantage.
Especially with these fucking magic people in there.
Yeah, if you take anything that has range or anything that's a big monster that can like reach out with range, or anything with range, you are at a massive disadvantage because you have to hit them with your big sword. Whereas if you had a mix of magic...
Because the biggest problem we faced so far, you're right, are those fucking archers in that one town.
Yeah, because you have to get in there and they just fire a million shots at you. And
my god, that was so annoying. That was
you just had
not the last video we did, but the one before that one was madness.
Was it the one before that one? I thought it was the last video. There's the guy with archers that you ran past to then get to the sentinel. That was the last one, wasn't it?
Yes, but that was more like just straight up magic. Whereas the one I'm thinking of was that town where I had to keep going and light the 4 torches.
Oh,
and there were those fucking archers on the roofs.
They had fucking ridiculous like
that was ridiculous. That was way harder than the one that we just did.
That was bullshit. They just like replenished their arrows. They had no end to their arrows, and all the arrows would take half health off with each hit, and 4 would hit you at the same time. It was so bullshit, man. And there were women on top of that. I was like, what? They had no armor, so when you that was the other thing. When you got
they had
to them,
armor, but like it was ridiculously strong.
They had shitty armor. They had like, if you looked at it, it was very light. You couldn't really tell they were wearing that much armor, right? But then when you whacked them with your fucking level 150 ass goddamn sword shit, it took ages. You took less health. You took the same amount of health for them as like a proper boss, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
It was like 5 hits or 6 hits to kill one of them.
Dude, it was more than that. I'm sure it was more than that because you struggled so hard, and they had like I'm pretty sure they had like super poise because they would still be able to fire arrows in between you slicing at them.
Yeah.
Oh well. So anyway, if anyone's listening to us
Yeah.
going, what the fuck are these guys
That's
talking
enough.
about? Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Kuxel he does live streams, and he does mostly live streams that are recorded on YouTube. So I'll put Kuxel's channel link in the description like I usually do. Do subscribe to my channel, subscribe to his channel, because I chat on that like he chats on here, except for he drives, whereas I'm driving here.
I love that you've taken the terminology driving.
I mean, yeah, you're the one that said it, isn't it?
It's what my brother and I use for when my brothers and I use this for when we're playing games growing up. It'd be like, who's driving this time? If my brother's playing, I don't know, Resident Evil, or if I'm playing Final Fantasy or whatever, and then they would just sit and watch while we're playing.
I mean, I don't
while
know.
I'm playing.
I'm trying to think. Did I get it from you? I've used it in terms. Like people use it like in terms of programming, right? You do you can do pair program where both people are working on the same computer. And then what they say is one is in the driving seat and one's the passenger seat. Well, they don't say it necessarily like that, but one person will type, the other person sits and watches and helps out and as a passenger. And so like I was thinking of that, but I know you've used the term and I'm trying to think where I got it from. But either way, I do the driving usually for my channel, and Kuxel does the driving on his channel for the games he plays. So he's playing Elden Ring. So I'm doing free marketing for him, right? So he should be
cross promotion.
Yeah. So he's doing Elden Ring. We're gonna get back into Shin Megami Tensei 5 in the next couple of weeks. We did a bit of Pokemon on there, and he's done a couple of videos where we've looked at some retro games. But definitely have a look.
I should actually do some more of those with you as well.
Yeah, where he basically shows me some retro games that I should have played during my time, but I didn't because I had no life. It's
games which everyone should fucking play, which I think still hold up, despite the fact that everyone's like, let's have HD only and all that sort of stuff. Nah, old games are still good if they were good back then.
Yeah, you get HD versions, man, for a lot of these games. It's worth it, man. It's good to go back because the games, they hold up. Especially when you get a lot of mobile games, because like a lot of mobile games try to emulate these older games, but with shitty microtransactions and less story and effort put in. So
bollocks to mobile games, man.
I like games on mobiles, right? I like to play games on my mobile phone if I can, right? But what
the fuck?
If I can, I don't. I like the idea of the Nintendo Switch. I like the idea of being mobile.
That's not a mobile system.
It's a fucking portable system, man.
Right.
I like the portability.
Hang on. There's a difference between portable and mobile.
Right.
Mobile means iOS or Android.
Yes.
Portable means like DS, 3DS, PSP, Switch even.
So I believe the term mobile game has become synonymous with shit, right? Which is a problem. I like the idea of being portable. I like playing games portably. I like the idea of being able to play good games on my phone if I can, right? An example of this is I played an old game called The Settlers 3 back in the day on the PC. This was like fucking 90s or some shit.
Isn't that like an RTS or something?
Yes, and I absolutely loved it, right? So this is me showing my age. Now, that game came out on the iPad, right? And I think the iPad was a great mobile device for it because it had a bigger screen, enough screen real estate for that game and its graphics. And they basically just ported the whole game as is onto the iPad with touch controls. And it was fucking epic. I was like, there's no microtransactions. It's just a one-off. You buy the game one-off and that's it. They've not fucked it over. They've just kept the same graphics. It looked good on the iPad back then in the day. And I actually completed the levels in the game, which I never actually got to do. I never managed to do when I had it on PC. It was fucking epic. And I'm like, they should just do more games like this. On
You mean just purchase a game and that's it?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
And it was because it was a game that was made ages ago. It had good game mechanics and all that. Like it was back in a time where they put a lot more effort into RTS games and all that, put more effort into it and make them decent, and it was it was just good to play a game with depth on a mobile device. Nowadays, they try to put as little fucking shit into it and just put as many microtransactions in it. And I know that there's some that have bucked the trend but still have loads of microtransactions, like Raid Shadow Legends, which we're not sponsored by the way.
This video is not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
This video is not sponsored by anything but my ass, right? But like, it's weird how they just make these shiny looking games. They literally look just dead shiny, and they just have no depth, it's just shit. With loads of microtransactions, like the SimCity game. There's a SimCity game for the iPad. It wasn't SimCity, it was a specially made game for the iPad, and it just had, oh, you wait 5 hours for this to build when you build parts of it, and it was just designed in a smaller way. Like, there's less to the city. It was a bit more detailed and looked cool, but you really had to pay your way to just play the game, and it was fucking obnoxious. And you could get it for free to play, right? And then you'd play if you wanted to fucking actually play it properly, and it was super shit. And I'm like, you can make amazing games. iPads, Android, iOS phones have shit tons of power, enough to play good games at a lower res. You don't need super high res, and you can make some amazing games for them, but they don't, and they suck. But anyway,
I mean, I'm always of the opinion that you need a proper controller to play a game. I do not like touchscreens when it comes to playing games.
RTS I think is okay if it's not fast paced, right?
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
You just move things about and it's more slow paced. And I think adventure games or visual novels.
So I just want to say my final word on this topic, and then I think we could get into the game. But the one game that I played on iOS was Ghost Trick, which I know was a DS ports, but that game was amazing, and that was perfectly suited to the touchscreen, really.
Those type of games, man, are ideal, and I just wish they would do more stuff like that. And do you know, I've not looked at games in anger on iOS and stuff like that, but yeah, I do programming. I could fucking just, I need to make a game. Fuck it, I'll just do it myself. Right. And on that note, I'll one day make a game for iOS or Android or whatever the fuck, and it will be shit. Shall we continue?
Now that Thanos here has decided to do it himself, let's carry on.
Let's load. It's we're only 12 minutes in. Fucking hell, Ash, man.
I was keeping an eye on the time.
This one, I think.
Wait.
So,
October the 1st, or what, the 15th?
21st,
so
2015. October 21st.
Sorry, did it say 21st?
I think it was 21st. Wait.
Backlog.
Where are you? First.
I knew it.
Yeah, oh, well, don't listen to me, I'm full of shit.
Yeah, 2015.
Shibuya Police Station. Hello.
Oh. Yes, because we haven't actually been introduced to this character yet properly.
I didn't think we'd be introduced to her. I thought she got away because they couldn't pin her to anything. Are you a student or are you an adult acting like a kid with the pigtails? That's creepy.
Honestly, can't tell.
I mean, she could be, you know, the stereotypical lolly styled adult.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, many times.
Let's just get to the crux of this, right? Were you banging this salary man? Student girl.
That's what she's asking.
Yeah, it's like, were you banging him? Tell me all the sordid details. I don't know why, but this has reminded me of Initial D. Remember the girlfriend in that?
Which one?
The first
season. One.
Yeah, she was shit.
Mercedes guy. Yeah.
Yeah, she'd fucking... What was she doing? She was like going
She
out,
was banging for money on the side.
and they didn't even explain why. I mean, well, she wasn't poor. At least
So that's why she wasn't poor. She was. This is a concept they have. Compensated dating. High
prostitution.
schoolers do it in Japan. It is basically prostitution. High schoolers do it in Japan.
So let me get this
And
straight.
it is a bit of a problem there.
They go out with older guys and get paid for it. So they're sugar babies, effectively.
Basically.
And is sex a part of this most of the time?
Can be.
Can be, but is
Can
it
be.
mainly?
It's not like it's a formal thing. It's a relationship between a man and a woman of particular age groups and, earning capacity. It's between them.
So, but is it a sex? Is it because prostitution? When we talk about prostitution and all that, that's like sexual favors exchanged for money. Whereas this
That is literally just the sexual favors exchanged for money.
yeah. So that's why I'm asking: is this
This has an element of relationship with it as well. So, taking the example of the girl from Initial D, I've forgotten her name, I'm afraid. She would spend time with him in the car, if you remember.
Yes.
They wouldn't go into great depth about what they got up to, but they were going out and having a good time. Such good time also included a little bit of, banging on the side.
Was that insinuated?
That was insinuated.
Oh my god. Why does that guy like her? She sucked. She didn't even seem to have a great personality. But anyway, this reminded me of her. Just because of that situation. Let us continue.
So they're just saying that, were you dating this guy? And
Were you buying him?
We don't even know this. We don't even know this girl's age yet.
I mean, she might be an adult. She might be 10. Fuck knows with anime or visual novels. She might be a 200-year-old vampire. The officer sank back into her chair in resignation. Shinju could sympathize.
なるほどな。
I see. You like the older D, but you don't want to tell the police. Makes sense. Just come to check on her a moment ago, but they've been probably doing this since yesterday. Locked in interrogation room, cut off from the outside world, and questioned by multiple officers, most people would lose their cool. They'd start to wonder what effects their words were having and focus on every movement of the officer who was taking down notes. It wasn't hot in the room, but they'd sweat. But this girl didn't respond at all. It's almost like she'd lost the will to live. Or maybe she's...
I like how they're going through their, unscrupulous interrogation tactics in detail in this.
I mean, that's what a lot of police forces do, though, isn't it? They keep you in these interrogation rooms for extended periods of time to try and break you a little. I mean, it's not good, but...
No, it's not good at all. Just saying, she hasn't been offered legal counsel. She's just been sitting there. I don't think any welfare checks have been carried out on her.
I mean, it may have been. Maybe that's insinuated. I mean, they may have asked her and she didn't say anything. It's like, you have a right to legal counsel. If you want one, we will find a representative. And she's just went, not saying anything because I'm actually a fucking assassin. Because that's what I suspect. I suspect she was in on this somehow. She's maybe a part of the bad guy group or an assassin or fuck knows. She's in it in a way that she does not want to talk to the police about because it might make things more messy, and so she's just playing it cool and staying shut up. And the fact that she's been able to stay quiet and not break under this pressure for such a period of time makes me think that, she is more than she appears to be, at least.
We'll have to find out.
Yes. If she'd ever been interrogated before, the fingerprints they'd taken would have told them who she was.
新庄さん
Shinjo-san, can you take over? And because I need to get away from this mute girl.
やはり連れて行った方が
Maybe we should take her to the hospital? Oh, fuck! Oh, for fuck's sake, Kuxo. Fucking hell. To the mental hospital and then zip. Oh, have you seen... Do you remember... I don't know why I remember this. Did you ever watch Kill Bill? The movie?
No,
Oh.
I need to. I haven't watched those.
There is a scene where so she's like at a hospital. She's strapped to the bed because I don't know if she's like mental or something like that, right? But they've got her strapped to the bed and she's kind of unconscious. And then a guy comes and he starts basically assaulting her, right, while she's in a comatose state, kind of. It is super bad, man. But like it seemed to be, this wasn't the first time he'd done it. It's the things that he said or
Serial
something like
offender.
yeah, and so she ends up biting his tongue off and killing him, which he deserved. But this reminded me of that. I was just, the zip and mental hospital stuff, like the abuse of patients who don't have control or have been strapped in is like not good.
That's putting it mildly.
I know. Fuck, man, this world can be a pretty shit place sometimes. It made sense. The natural assumption was that the shock of the incident had incapacitated her. Shinjo nodded, as if considering it. This was the second day since the incident. If she lived in a normal family environment, I love that, normal family environment, someone should have submitted a missing persons report by now.
洗いました。ですが当たりません。
I checked, but nobody was looking for a pigtail blonde girl with blue eyes. I mean, she does stick out quite a bit, but then again, I suppose the blonde hair is just like part of the... It's
More than
normal.
the blonde hair, the twin ribbons seem to be quite a defining feature.
But like, do you know how this is anime logic, and in reality, it's just like she's got a normal hair color, or in this world.
I'm not talking about the hair color. I'm talking about the twin ribbons.
Yeah, I mean, you're a twin ribbon man, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's average. That's the normal hairstyle. Like, you have 3 hairstyles in the world of visual novels or something when it comes to girls, and that's one of them. But the girl didn't move a muscle.
She could be an orphan, like our dude.
That would make a lot of sense in the context of this game. The normal ways weren't going to work then. We're going to have to break her. Physically. You'd be sent back to the hospital by dawn at this rate.
Not back to the hospital. To the hospital.
It's
It's
to the
for
hospital.
the first time.
The other officer couldn't hide her happiness as she left the room.
I know, right? You're like, oh, thank fuck work's over.
I mean, nobody wants to like cross-question a
with this.
child, that's being mute, and it's just like knowing what had happened and what she's kind of went through. Yeah, it's just kind of shit. Shinjo sat down in the chair she'd been sitting in and took a good look at the girl from the front. He was ignoring him and still looking down at the desk. He didn't even seem to notice or care that the person in front of her had changed. Shinjo remembered his conversation with Momose. After he'd hung up, she'd called back in precisely 3 minutes, just like she'd promised. And then she'd said, "My kid has a message for you."
"いいからそう聞いてごらんなさい。それで今の新庄ちゃんのような反応をしたり、変わらず黙ったままだったりしたら、残念だけど、非感知しか取る手段はないそうよ。
What?
We're missing the message that the kid from Momose told
My
Shinjo.
kid has a message for you. Something is what she... Oh, for fuck's sake, they purposely
It skipped it. Yeah, they haven't told us.
もし別の反応をしたら、もう一度連絡をちょうだい。
So if I tell her a random sentence and she just doesn't ignores it, just send her to the mental hospital. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
But if she actually reacts in some way, send her my way.
I need to set... Oh, fuck, I need to change it to no avatars. I'm an idiot.
Oh, has it been on the whole time?
Yeah, which will make editing harder. Well, it should be fine.
No, you'll be able to deal with it.
Yeah,
You've
as
got
in like I'm
DaVinci
not
Resolve now.
gonna take it out or anything, but like if there was any audio issues, it's a lot easier to ignore it when our faces are not on the screen reacting to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Should be fine. Man, totally not on the ball. The message didn't make much sense, but he didn't see any other way.
一つ聞きたいことがあるんだ。
I'm going to say a random sentence to you, like a Rorschach test, but like sentences. Tell me what you think.
The grass is blue on the moon.
What the fuck? Oh man.
I just came up with something random
That
off the top
was
of my head.
fucking random as fuck, man. I'm impressed by how random that was. Oh fuck. There was no response, of course. He continued, uncertain if she was even hearing him.
君は持っているものに気づかれなかったのか、元から持っていないのか、どっちだ？
Did you have it and they didn't realize it? Or did you never have it? Which is it? What the fuck?
She reacted. That's a response.
Oh shit. Got a phone Momosi. Her eyes moved. Oh shit. She moved. Instead of looking down at the desk, she was looking at Shinjo. Shinjo was surprised, but did his best to hide it.
どうなんだ？
The girl stared at him as if trying to figure him out. And then, a moment later,
誰なんですか？あなたは。
Who are you? Her words were quiet, but sharp. It was the same tone of voice that Shinjo used when he was interrogating a subject.
ここの刑事だ。君、名前は？
So he's hit a chord with her. She seemed to be thinking about something as she stared at him. Her mannerisms were just like his own, again.
So she's a detective as well.
She is a child detective. It was the same way a detective faced a criminal, trying to gain every scrap of information from what he could see. And then she slowly opened her mouth.
有
Oh!
村ひなえ。碧峰学園の学生です。
Oh shit!
Oh, here we go.
She's a student at our school. Wait, Hinai. She's not using a fake
Hinai
name.
Arimura. No, I don't believe that's a fake name. Why would she fake it?
I don't
She's
know.
saying
I was
that
just
she's
trying to
from
think.
Hekiho.
She's not like using the name of one of our friends or one of the other characters we met, Hikio or whatever.
No, I don't think. No, we've definitely not seen this name before.
I left the motorhome where I lived alone, and only then did I realize that it was evening. The sunlight must have been pouring into my room, but I hadn't noticed. I didn't really remember when I'd gone to sleep or when I'd woken up.
大丈夫。
Daijoubu. I looked around and made sure that none of the scenery had changed, then walked up the steps in front of me. Wait, you meant to make sure none of the scenery had changed? Okay. Miyashita Park was just a few minutes walk away from Shibuya station.
Oh, he's with the homeless guys.
This is giving me Yakuza like a dragon vibes.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah, this is
strong
where the
vibes.
homeless lived in like Yakuza.
This is where it was also known as Homeless Park. Wait, was it this exact place?
No, it's not the exact place, but it looks just like this
Yeah, because
in the game.
I remember
and in
the
real
gates
life, I
and
imagine.
shit. I remember
Yeah.
the the fencing and then the buildings. Like
And
literally,
it's not a building so much as it is like
Shacks.
almost a shanty town or shacks.
And we woke up in one of these because the doctor dude was healing us. Who became our best mate.
Oh my god, the homeless bros. Yakuza was great.
Well, I mean, especially Like a Dragon. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, watching you play through that. We should have done. We
Wish
should have
we
made a
recorded
video
it.
series on that, but that was before our YouTube careers really kicked off.
That was before I even like had an inkling of putting things online. So yeah.
This is where I
It was
lived.
just for chilling.
Yeah, I mean, but it would have been good.
Yeah, it would have.
This is
would've
where
been
I
great.
lived after I left the dorm. The first floor was a huge parking structure, and the second story had a futsal field and a climbing wall. It had been mostly abandoned during the recovery efforts after the Shibuya earthquake. Wait, it had a futsal field.
I was going to ask you, do you know what that is? Because I have no idea. Futsal.
Just feels like football. I don't know why you'd call
I'm
it
going to check.
futsal.
I'm going to quickly check.
What the fuck is... What is a futsal field? Futsal is a FIFA's official indoor soccer game, which is essentially scaled out as a 5v5.
Five-a-side. Five-a-side, yeah. It's just five-a-side football.
Why is... So the car park has a football field in it and a climbing wall. After the quake, people who lost their family or never had any family to begin with gathered here en masse. Mitaki Park, which was right next door, was supposed to be the evacuation point for this area. But Miyashita had always been a mecca for the homeless, so everyone gathered here. When people gathered, so did things. Containers filled with food, blankets, and tents. Even the trailer for a motorhome that was left behind when its owner fled Shibuya. Every part of the park was overhauled to create a place for people to live. The parking lot, the futsal field, the climbing wall, etc. And the next thing anyone knew, there was a society there. Next thing anyone knew was there was that there was a society.
The next thing anyone knew, there was a society there that was big enough.
Oh, should be a comma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next thing anyone knew, there was a society there that was big enough that the government couldn't force them out. Then some group of idiots came out to try and turn the place into temporary housing. That was shot down in less than a month. Temporary housing sounds alright.
I think he means in terms of like social accommodation.
Is that a bad thing?
It's temporary in the sense that these guys are here until they find more permanent housing.
Oh. As a result, even though you could find beautifully rebuilt skyscrapers just a street away, Miyashita Park became one of Japan's biggest slums.
これいいですか?
I spoke to the man
Oh,
who
man.
sold newspapers, magazines, and everything else as I picked up a newspaper with today's date, October the 1st, on it.
お、タク、珍しいな新聞なんて。いいぞ、持ってけ。
You know, I'm really glad they're taking the time to actually establish why he lives like this. This is good.
Wait, he lives like this? No, why? He ran away from the dorms.
And he's here with these guys. The RV is probably just one of the things around.
Oh, well, explains how where he is and why there's an RV there. But I don't know, he ran away from the dorm he left the dorm as soon as he could and lives in an RV. I mean, why he's reacted that way, I suppose they have covered it. He was talking about his flashback. He mentioned it. And it was carnage. I was quite annoyed at some of the things that he was recounting. So maybe he lost faith in humanity. And that's why he's like, everyone else is wrong. I am right. I'm going to live off of the grid, so to speak. Yeah. Just,
Makes sense to me.
いいんですか?
どうせ余るしな。それにほれ。
He showed me the snacks and alcohol at his feet. He must have sold a lot today. There were a lot of people in the park who had enough money that they could have stayed in a capsule hotel if they wanted to. Oh.
ああ、してんならできれば別のとこにな。ゴミにうるさくなってるからよ。
I thanked him and went to leave.
おいタク、電気代か。
Wait, this guy pays an electric bill?
You know, it's probably like, you know, when you have the key for the electric meter?
I've seen them, you have basically prepaid meters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably something like that.
Those are mental.
Those are shit, man.
I mean, but if you
そう
can't...
ですけど.
Yeah.
Makes sense for rented accommodation. That way, so if you're renting,
I guess that makes sense.
you
yeah.
only pay for your electricity. Because the problem that people have as landlords is that the person is paying for the bill and then they just do a runner. And they haven't paid for the electricity they've used. and then it sits onto the landlord, or it's like it becomes complicated, and then
That's why you have it where the landlord says rent does not include utility bills, water, etc.
but what happens is they do a runner and don't pay the
Mm.
bill, and so it's like now it doesn't come to the landlord, but it still becomes a fucking hassle because as the landlord you still get like they're like, what happened to this person? You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I get why the pay as you go thing would suit if it's being rented, if it's rented accommodation. But I mean, I don't know if he's got a pay as you go. Hell, I didn't even know he had a meter, man. I thought he was just hacking the electricity from the local grid.
That's what I was about to say. Like, we were wondering in the other episode, like, how's he getting electricity in this RV parked under a bridge?
Must get social security checks or something if he's able to pay for it. Because he's currently
Likely,
in
yeah.
school.
ならついでに俺の分も頼む。南のまっちゃんからだっつって渡してくれ。
What? He handed me a 1,000. Oh, okay. He handed me a 1,000 yen bill. I nodded, took it, and headed deeper into the park with my paper.
I
Oh.
wonder how much electricity 1,000 yen gets you.
Also, if he's just given him 1,000 yen, said, tell him it's from Matty. I'm like, what? Who are they paying? Because how it doesn't sound like it's an actual electricity board. It just sounds like.
So, like, the key that I was talking about for pay-as-you-go electricity around here, which I don't have, thankfully, right? We just have direct debit, but I've seen people around here use it. You just go to like a fucking corner shop, give him a key, and say, put a tenner on this, please.
Yeah, it's a pay-as-you-go card, like a card you get used to get for where you get pay-as-you-go.
But like I said, you could just go to a fucking corner shop.
Oh yeah, you don't even need to name. But the thing is, like he said, just say Matty sent you. He didn't seem to give him a key or anything, or a card at least.
Oh, I don't know what their system is. I'm just going by what I know as the closest approximation.
Yeah, you could go to the local shops. They have the machines that they put it in, and then they just like a card. You know, just like the phone cards you get for mobiles, pay as you go. Same thing.
God, can you imagine having to scratch the back of a card to get electricity?
No. It's like a key thing, and they put it into the machine. You say how much you got to put in. They do it. They give you the key back, and then you put it into your meter.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm wondering what this system is.
Fuck knows, man. Miyashita Park was divided into north and south halves by road. If he said he was from the south, that must mean there was a Matty on the north side who I hadn't met yet. The administrative office on the south side. Oh, so there's a proper administrative office.
This looks like the Hello Work in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Even with the steps and all.
Yeah. Just like the name implied, it was where all the administration was done for Miyashita Park. Do you know how a lot of these VNs and games, they basically just model the actual places in Tokyo when it comes to these things? This must just be the same place.
No, but that was Yokohama, and this is Shibuya.
Oh. This is Tokyo.
Hmm.
Interesting. Maybe they just like design everything the same. Also, I like how the bends look like little froggy heads.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Wait a minute.
Ribbit.
Huh.
It's not done on purpose. It's just for 2 types of bottles, but it just looks like a little rabbit. It looks to me.
No, it's just something about the way they're drawn looks a bit weird to me. Now that I look at it closer.
Ribbit. Just like the name
like
implied.
There's a blur filter on it or something.
Yeah.
Same thing with the vending machine.
It's done with watercolors. Because this is
something
sharper.
like
All
that.
of this is sharper, right? Super sharp. And then this has been painted like what, with like a watercolor type.
Yeah, it's weird
thing.
because I'm looking at the chain link fence behind it, which looks in pretty good detail in comparison.
It's sharply done. It's like proper, like digital art, sharp.
Yeah.
All of this is, but then you go here and it's like more water. It's painted with a kind of, wait a minute. How do I do this? Is it the backspace? Yeah. Watercolor
we
kind of
go.
effect. Yeah. Diesel. Something Village. But yeah. Let's see. Just like the name implied, it was where all the administration was done from Yashita Park. It kept things peaceful between the government and the park occupants, resolved disputes between the homeless, and maintained all the facilities at the park. I knew the woman there by her face, but not her name. I gave her the electric bill, which was due on the first of the month, along with Matty's part. Life in the park might seem carefree and lawless from the outside, but it was actually much stricter than you'd find in some families.
はいよ、確かに。はみ出たり、勝手に住み着こうとしているやつは
The administration person's asking this. Everyone who lived on the outer rim of the park, including me since I lived on the far south, had been asked by the management to keep an eye out for that.
大丈夫だと思います。
Like squatters, like trying to move in or something.
But they're all squatters.
But they're actually recognized officially.
But, like, new people must come in, so how, like, they're all kind
Register.
It's a proper system. When I'd looked earlier, I hadn't seen anything change around my place.
最近物騒だからね。気をつけなよ。見慣れないやつがいたらすぐに言いな。
Oh, look at that. She's being nice and caring.
知ってんだろラブホテルの事件とか。
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I might know about that. Yeah. I read it in the newspaper.
わかりました。
I was startled, but quickly nodded. I suddenly felt like they were criticizing me for hiding something. No, mate. They were just, like, genuinely concerned for your health and safety.
Yeah, but he lives in a world of perceived slights.
What is he, a Twitter user? The corridor that connected the north and south ends of the park. This place, looking down on Meiji Street, was one part that hadn't really changed since before the earthquake. There were cracks here and there, but the government had forbidden people to put things here because it would ruin the view. It might not be safe. I leaned up against the rail and spread open the newspaper with the setting sun shining down on me. That sound effect is annoying on repeat.
Yeah, carry on, man. Hopefully it'll go.
I know, I'm waiting for it to go away. There was a column on the front page about the Love Hotel incident, but no new information. There was nothing in the article about the girl who was found at the scene, or how this could be related to what happened 6 years ago. Had they not figured that out yet? Did they not listen to that?
It's been 2 days!
But also, did they not listen to that obscure online podcast thing? Not podcast, but like radio broadcast that he listens to? I was so let down when I found out he was just listening to that and that's how he put 2 and 2 together. Or maybe they had and they just weren't announcing it. I mean, to be fair, if they did, it's more likely they wouldn't announce it.
Yeah.
If it had something to do with the incident 6 years ago, then so did Don't Look at Me and Leaky Noise. Did that mean they weren't suicides? The killer had driven them to suicide, and it was probably the same person behind 3 incidents. But was he working alone or part of a group? Or maybe people who were related somehow to the incident 6 years ago were killing themselves one after another. Maybe I should look at what the 3 cases had in common again.
Time for a whiteboard.
Oh shit, fuck. Oh, that scared me again. What the fuck? Why?
No, man.
Why
You disappoint me.
I'm in a dark room, right? And it's late, and like I get easily fucking jump scared. I mean, I didn't. Fuck this game.
It's better this time than the last time. You were like almost losing it. You're like, oh, let me calm down.
Oh, fuck this game because it was already put me. I hate jump scares. I do not play horror games. I do not watch horror movies. And you can see
remind
why.
me to play Resident Evil with you sometime.
That I don't, and if I'm playing with someone else, I kind of don't mind. You know that it's coming, or you know something might come. Whereas this is just like, we're just chatting, and then brrr in your face. Damn it! What the hell? My hand went up to the new bandage on my cheek. I rubbed it several times to make sure that it was still there. My cheek, that is. I took out my smartphone.
Oh, he has a smartphone.
Yeah, this guy is like got tech. The data I'd recorded at the scene had been deleted by the police. Oh, of course, he had to be recording and stuff somehow. I probably should have just counted myself lucky they didn't take the phone itself. I'd lost my biggest clue to the case.
追うべきじゃないってことなのかな。
Yes. That is the first sensible thing you said all day.
All game.
Maybe this was just out of my league. Maybe it was stupid to get involved. Yes. Yes and yes. Wait a minute. Right. Let's look at this closely. This is our main man. This is Nono.
Nonon and Kurusu.
Nonon
Nonon Kurusu.
Kurusu. Don't know.
And the girl on the right is Sekiha?
Sekiha, yeah, Sekio.
Sekiho, right.
Or whatever. Who's this dude?
Don't know. Is that the other guy?
No. They
The
were
one in
all
the class.
They couldn't have all been in the same place.
I don't know. I mean, like, why couldn't they have been?
Because, like, she talks to him as if, like, the way, what's his name? Yuhi, I can't remember what the guy's called. The way he was talking to Nono, whatever. Nono was like, you know, just as like, oh yeah, I know you for school. But it didn't seem like they'd known each other from beforehand, especially when she'd talked to him about, oh, you know, it's more than that. I don't know, man. And who's this dude?
He's doing it deliberately.
Dodgy professor dude. Clearly he was up to no good.
That's not the professor guy. That's someone else.
I'm saying he looks like a professor dude.
Oh, okay, right. The teacher is who I was thinking of. The one from the last episode with the pointy chin.
Yeah. Fuck him. But no, I wasn't meaning him. I'm saying this is like another. Obviously, this is a different character. But he looks professory with the white coat.
Yeah, white coat, glasses.
Maybe
You know
he was
he's a professor.
experimenting on them or something. Maybe this is something super dodge. And then I got a call on my phone. I checked the name and hit the answer button.
はい。
Moshi moshi.
もしもし。
お主か。もう来ておるぞ。いつもの席
This person does not exist. Like, this is a pure magical girl now.
What? What the fuck?
That's a manga cafe.
どうも。
So it's a cosplayer.
Wait a minute. This is the thumbnail for the episode, obviously.
Yeah. This is a manga cafe. Look, there's a manga in the background. So this is a cosplayer.
Oh, okay. As always, the waitress's appearance and manners were a mystery to me. I bowed to her and went to my seat.
Okay. Maid cafe.
Serika was there already. Oh,
Serika.
Not Seiko. Shit. Serika was there already reading a manga. She was fiddling with her ghetto froggy cell phone strap without realizing
Man,
it.
she
as
really
usual.
took that incident really affected it quite badly. Look at her now.
He's basically just transitioned into a guy. That was fucking harsh. It like scared
Wearing a
the
flannel shirt.
it scared the woman out of her. Changed her hair color and everything. Maybe she's hiding. She wants to hide.
And she's got no face.
Yeah, fuck. You know things are bad when she has no face. Either that or this has turned into a hentai.
Oh,
It really was a strange
she's
habit.
the protagonist.
And a nuisance to the people around her. Cafe Lax.
This person on the right.
What are they doing?
Oh my god. I don't know.
I do like the skateboards stacked up.
The what? Where?
Those are skateboards.
Oh, I didn't notice what that was.
I think they're skateboards that have just been stacked up on the rack.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh my god. That's just a fucking concrete wall on that side. They haven't even furnished it.
What, that?
With the hands that are drawn on it and the
Yeah,
writing.
it's just drawn. It adds character.
Yeah, I'd like to hang out in this place, to be honest.
Mate, I like coffee shops or cafes or whatever the fuck with sofas. I am fucking there, right?
Yes.
If it's warm, has sofas, a relaxed atmosphere, and man, they have fucking manga. Fuck yeah, man. We need more of these places up here in Scotland and everywhere.
I'd love a place like this in London. I'd just go put my feet up, read a manga, and just stay there for like 5 hours.
Yeah, I wanna have a place like that where I can go to regular and they're like, oh, it's the fucking weirdo Ash Mannix.
Yeah.
Give him his usual. You know, and you just get the usual whatever drink. You sit there for hours and you just chill reading manga. And I'm like a regular, and sometimes I'll chat to the staff, and they'll be like, "I wonder what he does in real life. He seems like a loser and just spends too much time here." Little do they know that I'm actually a loser and don't really do much. And that would be the story of my cafe adventures at this manga cafe. Cafe Lax, the preferred hangout of the newspaper club, which is a 10-minute walk from Shibuya station. The owner was a manga fan, and the walls were lined with the stuff. There was free Wi-Fi, the prices were good, and if it wasn't crowded, you could sit there for hours as long as you bought a single drink. Yes!
This place sounds perfect.
This is fucking epic.
Mm.
All it needs, right, is a stuffy owner, older guy that like wears like a waistcoat and bow tie and makes coffee really fancy.
I mean, I'd volunteer. Like, that's just me. I'd just be there and be like, so, what are you having?
Have you seen that trope in anime? They're sitting there, it's like, and he makes coffee that weird way where he puts the filter and he just slowly pours the hot water over it as it filters through, and it's like, I don't know how to fucking make coffee, but it looks epic, and I'd be like, yes. He's like, do you want the usual? And I'm like, yes. Yes, please.
Well, too bad. You're just getting the usual coffee anyway.
I told you the story of. I've told you the story where I used to go to this like. It was a takeaway that'd be open during the day. I used to go there for lunch.
Was this when you were in London?
No, when I was in when I used to work in the city in Glasgow, and I used to go fairly regularly, right, for lunch to get like I'd get the same thing, just a burger and chips, right, for lunch, which was epic. And it got to the point I'd have my earphones in, I'd walk in, I'd just look, the guy without a word, he wouldn't even like look at me directly, he would start just getting the burgers and chips ready. And the only thing he'd do is he'd look up at me when he was getting the salad, he'd look up at me and be like, you know, without saying anything, I'd just nod to add the salad in for the burger. And then you know, he'd make the food and all that, I'd give him the money, give me the change, and then I'd go, and it was fucking epic. And this guy was really shy, he was a really cool guy, right? Really funny, but he literally, like, I think he had pegged me, he knew what I was like, and he was just like, oh man, you just go in there and you get your usual, you don't even say anything, man. It was fucking epic. Good times.
That sounds awesome, honestly.
It really is, and he was such a cool guy. Like, he used to joke around and stuff like that. Just like, so good. Fuck, I miss those days. I wish I had a cafe like that. The most important part was that since it was in a hard to find spot, barely anybody from Hekiho knew about it. I didn't have to worry about running into anyone I knew. That's cool.
Even better.
As usual, there was barely anyone there. Just a single couple that appeared to be in college. Wait.
That's a couple?
They're kind of sitting. I ordered my usual Mountain View and sat down. Wait, Mountain View? Did he get Mountain View at cafe?
That's what it said.
What the fuck? What is this monster? Oh my god. Taku-kun. Oh, Taku.
Has she only just like taken off the school jacket or something? Because that looks way better on her.
Yes. Or, yeah. Is that part of the
it's even a button collar.
I'm not a fan of those. Are you talking about this?
Me neither.
Yeah,
you know the sides which hold the collar down.
Those.
Yeah, I hate those.
I don't like them. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them.
Just makes putting on a tie weird.
Serika went and put the manga back on the shelf, then came and sat back down. Wait, what? He got
She
his
did.
He got his uniform cleaned for him. Why?
She got his uniform cleaned. Yeah.
I wish people did that for me. Like that's a really cool. Like it's a really nice thing. But it's weird. I'm assuming he doesn't have a washing machine.
Man, you just fucking reminded me that I need to go to the washing machine and put the next wash in at some point. So
First world problems, man. I already. Oh shit! No, I'm gonna wash my clothes tomorrow. But I did change my bed sheets, and it's nice and fresh.
Nice.
I took the bag containing my uniform from Serika. It was a uniform that had gotten covered with blood at the Love Hotel. Oh, because the head. Oh, that was nice that Nono-chan actually washed. Man, she got that washed. That is fucking.
I'm amazed that she got the blood out.
How'd you do that? That is hard, isn't it? You'd have to use like vanish or some shit. You like super strong fucking.
I haven't been able to get blood out of my clothes that's gotten in.
Wait,
Like,
how'd you
and
get?
I imagine that was a lot of blood. Little bits here and there, like, you know, if you cut yourself by accident or something.
Yeah, you know if you have a nosebleed on your like pillow or whatever in
Oh.
bed or whatever, I'm like that. There's a stain I have on a small stain on one of my bed sheets. And that's never came out, man. It's like what the fuck, man?
God, when I had COVID, it happened. Like, it hasn't happened to me for a long time, but then when I had COVID, twice in one day, it just fucking started bleeding like mad from my nose.
So
It was actually crazy.
I think you have to catch it early. You literally have to catch it as soon as you make the stain. You have to wash it and then use some fair liquid or something stronger to try and take it out before it sets in. Otherwise, it's there forever.
言ってないよ。タクもでしょ？
I didn't go to school. Did you? You didn't either, did you?
Yeah, like, I mean, it's school time right now, and we're chilling in this cafe.
I nodded. I hadn't felt like it at all. We had
の
seen
んちゃんたち
things.
に連絡は？
Non and Ito.
That's it. That's his name, Ito.
When I got up this morning, I sent both of them a text saying that it was okay. They both sent back responses almost immediately, but neither of them said much about what happened.
Because nothing's happened.
No, they didn't want to say much asking
Yeah.
about, what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because they haven't had a chance to speak to them since then. Shit. I've not even thought about
No.
that. We know what
They
happened.
didn't go in.
We know what happened, but they don't have a fucking clue as to what happened in there.
Nope.
Damn.
Not a bit.
They probably weren't mentioning it for my sake.
でどうだ大丈夫か
うん、まあ死んでる人を見るのは初めてじゃないし。
At this point, I'd be asking her what the fuck, but then I know what.
Don't
they've
you remember
been
the
through.
backstory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Slurp.
needed that sound effect. Serika spoke in a normal tone of voice as she drank her favourite grapefruit juice. Didn't seem like she was lying. That's how she'd been since she was a kid. It wasn't that she didn't have any feelings. Just got over them very quickly. Okay.
Good.
It's not like she didn't have any feelings. She just got over everything very quickly and didn't give a shit.
タクは大丈夫？
Taku! Taku. Maybe I should call myself Taku.
Why?
I don't know. I just like people saying Taku. Now that she asked, I wasn't sure how to answer the question. Wait a minute. Angry face. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. The waitress brought me my mountain view. I nodded and took it.
Not a word.
We didn't even need that. We literally didn't need to see her. They could have just had that as a sentence. As in...
嘘マジで？それ最低じゃん。
Is that the couple?
マジ
Apparently
マジ
so.
超焦ったっつうの空気読めっつう話でさ
I couldn't believe what a dumbass. What is on about? I spun the ice in my drink as I listened to the couple's irritating conversation. Fuck them for being a couple. Serika silently waited for my answer. Why? Why Did someone not tell the background artist to draw them on the same table because they're going to be a couple? That just bugs me.
I don't know. It's weird.
I knew that face. He'd been my friend since we were kids. There was no point in trying to hide it. It's the face of disappointment.
正直言うと迷ってる。
It's almost like she knew that we fantasized about her giving us hugs in bed. I'm disappointed in you, Taku-kun.
迷ってるって何を？
Ooh.
事件を追うかどうか。
Serika seemed genuinely shocked.
本当に？
Gosh, you know, it's something I just noticed right now,
グレー
but
プフルーツもう一つ。
well, not right now. I've noticed this before when playing like Umineko and stuff like that. But having mouth flaps in a visual novel just adds so much to the experience.
What, the mouth animation?
Yeah,
Did Umineko? Umineko had that, didn't it?
it doesn't, and it does. It depends on which version you're playing,
I played the one with the PS3 sprites.
which does have it. And I initially started with the Steam version, which doesn't have it.
Yeah, the Steam
And
version.
then I moved on to that one.
You got the patch
Yeah.
put in, didn't you?
I did. I got all those mods,
The
patches,
voice and everything. Voice
Yeah.
hack.
Yeah.
You need that, man. It fucking. I've
It's
done that for Higurashi.
so transformative to the
So-
experience. Same with Higurashi. Yeah.
I did it for Higurashi. Like, I've got the PS3 sprites and the voice patch. It's a pain to do the mouth flapping, though. I mean, we've got that for. That's what we're using for this Image React plugin thing that we use with OBS, but
Basically.
it's a bit more tricky, I think, for them. I don't know. Maybe they've got something for what they use. Serika raised her hand and ordered another drink.
いつものタクだったらチャンスだとか思って突っ走ってない？
Isn't that exactly what happened?
Yeah, and we got burned for it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, angled purse. It's not as angled as usual, though.
She's sitting in a chair. Come on.
Dude, when she's standing and she does that angle, it makes no sense. It's too much of an angle. That might be true, but things were different this time. After what I'd gone through.
そりゃホテルは怖かったけどさ。
Serika continued as she knew exactly what I was thinking.
昔都市伝説とか追っかけてた時もそうだったじゃん。ほら冒険だって言って病院に忍び込んだの覚えてる？
Well, I wouldn't fucking sneak into a hospital.
That's a bad place to sneak into.
I nodded. I mean, how... You don't really need to sneak into a hospital, you just walk in there. You can, like, walk up and down corridors and shit.
Depends on the hospital, I think.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're going, and during COVID it was a different matter, but even then, I remember walking into our local hospital because I had to visit someone in a ward. Going into a ward is a different story, but, like, if you're walking
Yeah.
up and down the main corridors, no biggie. I just dreamed about it.
あの時も怖かったけど、この怖さは他の人が経験してないもんなんだ、貴重なんだって泣きながらさ。
お前も
He
泣い
just
てた
wants
じゃ
to
ん。
be special that much, huh?
Yep.
そうだっけ？
I don't remember that.
ほれ、残すなよ。
Is she playing the Sundar character?
I believe so.
Or the... Yeah.
どうも。
I feel that she's gonna be a character in this somehow. Maybe she is that
Because
special
she's got a sprite.
because she has a sprite and she's an anime girl. In the context of this visual novel, Momose has a person, a kid, that's working for her, right? Might be this kid.
Hmm.
Serika took her glass of juice and gulped it down. Put it on my tab, barman. Ooh, I like how she goes, ooh.
いや、それで。
何が？
Come on.
あ、そうか。だからさ、他の人が経験してないことを手に入れたんだからさ、それが怖かろうがなんだろうがチャンスだってタクなら言うかなって思って。
Her voice was light as she drank her juice, but her words didn't feel light at all. Something other people hadn't experienced. Something different from other people.
たまに頭いいんだか悪いんだかわからなくなるよな。
Yeah, the jury's out on that one. I stared at Serika's face. How much did she understand about what she was saying?
何？あ、ダメだよ。あげないよ。
You moved the juice away from me. I wasn't after your juice, mate, trust me. I was wrong. You probably didn't realize anything. Actually, she wasn't even thinking about anything. She really was dumb. That's harsh, mate.
Gosh.
Harsh. Taco.
バイトにんなこと言われてもね。
だろ？やる気がないのかって。ねえよ、普通に。
What an
The fuck is
obnoxious
that voice?
fucking voice. Don't give a damn. Well, no, I'm here.
なあ、渋谷地震の被災者のコメントの話ってしたことあったっけ？
何そ
Ooh.
れ？
I was pretty sure I told her a bunch of times. Well, whatever. Time for a lecture.
Oh, fuck.
地震直後の混乱が収まった後、大量のマスコミが被災者に対して押しかけただろ。まだカオスチャイルド症候群者っていう言葉がなかった頃に。
Roll credits.
Of course, I'd been in a coma for about a year after the earthquake. Whoa. I'd only investigated it after I woke up.
その取材の論調の多くは民度の高さを訴えるものだった。これだけの震災にもかかわらず、暴動や略奪などの犯罪がほとんど起きていない。これは得難いことなんだって。
Bullshit.
実際そうなんだと思うよ。
Huh?
何が今一番辛いですかって聞かれたとき、大半の被災者が地方の家族に自分の無事を伝えてやれないこととか。
Huh? That's not what he saw in his flashback.
That's what I'm
子
thinking
供に
about as
好
well.
物を与えてやれないこととか。とにかく他人を心配しててさ。でもそんな中で一人の被災者が言ったんだよ。
I remembered what they said word for word. It left a huge impression on me.
頑張れという部外者。正直うなずいたよ。心底。
They said exactly what I was thinking. I didn't know who they were, but I admired them anyway. Those feelings were the exact opposite of all the excited, fired up people on the outside.
これを言った人は僕に近い人だっていう気がするんだ。ただ一連の出来事をネットで見ていた他人とは違う。そしてただ被災しただけの人とも違う。
タクの両親のこと？
What? What?
あ、そういえば復興祭合わせの飲み、テニサーの連中も来るって。
One of his parents? Why would she say that? She must know that his parents were dead.
Hmm.
マジで？そうしたら絶対タク飲みじゃ無理じゃん。
Wait, what? What are they talking about? I was different. I was different than the people who just lived normal lives in Shibuya. I ripped the bandage off my cheek. The wound had closed up. My face was back to normal. I was back to normal. The case was right in front of me. I had a huge mystery to investigate. I wasn't about to
Nope.
just be caught up in something. As a right-sider, it was my job to jump right into the middle of all this information. Right? I could feel something like excitement mixed with a sense of duty welling up inside me. Justice.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Purpose.
Oh boy.
I couldn't stop myself from smiling. The maniacal smile. I was like, You might be put in danger again, Serika. Or
事件
Serika.
のこと？
Ooh. I nodded. Serika laughed, a little strangely. And then for some
did she
reason, she patted me lightly on the shoulder. Oh, there it is. There is that fucking ass. I didn't know what that
I don't
meant,
know.
but I started to laugh too. I want you in your chair to try and make that pose.
Oh, hang on, I'm gonna do it right now. Hang on. Hang on. Fucking this chair rotates as well, so it's a bit difficult.
It's a fucking weird pose.
Alright, I don't mind it, but it doesn't feel very good.
No, it doesn't feel natural. I didn't know what that meant, but I started to laugh too. Serika nodded.
よし、それならまずラブホテルの事件から行こっか。
Yosh, yosh. Serika took out her Pokecom. She typed in Pikachu and then it went Pikachu sucks. She typed into it with a practiced hand.
Throw it.
She seemed to be loading a video file. Fucking hell, man.
これ、現場でタクが撮ってた録画データ。警察に
Wait
消
a
される
minute.
前にストレージに上げておいて。
Oh, do you know, I was thinking this. I was like, oh, do you know how you get phones nowadays where you sync to
That
the cloud?
automatic cloud.
Yeah, I was like, what if, imagine he'd done that, you'd still have the file. Apparently she
that's
fucking did
yeah.
it. Holy shit. She Dropboxed that shit.
Why do they have Pokecoms and smartphones at the same time?
This is, what, 2015?
Yeah.
That is a good question. And I think on that note...
They didn't let us see the video. Fucking idiots, I swear down.
I think on that note, we will leave it there. That's a good point to end it. We've just gotten back home. And I think we spent half this video with me chatting bullshit. Let me just do a save. Save over this. Yes. Yeah, I mean, interesting stuff. I mean, what's really happened? We chat to one of the other
girl
guys.
in the police station. Then our guy went to meet a homeless dude, bought a newspaper. Then he went to this cafe, met a cosplayer waitress, met his friend. They chatted for a bit, and then he went back home.
Also, I got a bit of a fright.
Yeah, but that's you, man.
Stupid fucking jump scares. Does this guy have a shower? Does this place have a shower?
On the left. I think that
Is
should
that
be
a
it.
shower or a toilet?
Both, I don't know.
I feel like, because like in Japan, showers don't seem. I mean, in cheaper accommodation, you don't get the shower. You don't get any shower. You have to. I mean, this is. I don't know how.
This is stretching the definition of cheaper accommodation as well.
Yeah, like. I hate that. If I ever had a place, I'd be like, if I was in Japan and I had to get a place, I'd be like, no, I need a shower. I'm not going to the local bathhouse.
It's one of the most basic necessities.
Yeah, I need to clean up myself. On my own. I don't want to share a bath with other guys. Fuck that. But yeah, no, this has been alright. Getting interesting. Getting more getting a bit of the atmosphere around where Taku-kun lives. We got to see Serika and she seems to be fine. She has basically convinced our boy to get back on the saddle and tackle this case head on. Probably not good.
Oh, he's back in the saddle, alright.
Probably not good for our main characters in the long run, but obviously good for us because we want the game to carry on with the main plot. And it looks like maybe Serika and fuck knows, what's the other boy's name? Ito might have been at the same dormitory as them. They might be survivors of the Shibuya incident as well. I'm not sure. Potentially. So yeah,
It's hard to say.
it is hard. Also, I think our man's got a bit of a leak here, and his window, whatever the fuck this does, this must open and let the sun in. Or you lift it up to let air in.
Sorry, where?
See where my mouse is?
No, I can't actually.
Ah, you can't see where my mouse is.
No, I can't.
What the fuck? A second. So the top of the screen, top of the screen, there's like a hatch. You just barely see.
Oh, yeah.
I think that you open that up to let the sun in or something like that. It opens up at an angle a little bit.
But I see what you're looking at. It's like there's sort of like water streaks going down.
That doesn't look good.
No.
I'm not.
That's some dampness that's going to set in after a while.
I'm also not a fan of this cheap wood interior. But hey, this is
It's an RV. It's
not even an RV, man. It's a caravan. RV's like bigger.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Why am I still saying... yeah, because they called it an RV. But when we saw it, yeah, it just looks like a normal caravan.
Yeah, it's a small caravan because RVs tend to be bigger.
They're massive.
What does RV stand for? Really cool vehicle?
I think it's recreational vehicle.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, though.
But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like or dislike if you didn't like it. Leave a comment on anything we said. I mean, I talk a lot of pish nonsense. So like, if there's anything, just leave a comment. If you found anything interesting or want to say anything, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna shill Kuxo's channel once again. Visit his channel.
Hello, thank you.
The link to it will be in the description of this video. And yeah, this was Chaos Child. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and maybe we'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.